Okay, so we're now waiting to cross the road. There's no safe place to cross here. So there's 2 parents here and we've got 6 children between us.
Go on.
There isn't a crossing on this road. So we just have to sit and wait. Hopefully somebody will let us across. It's all taking time. Of course, by All Saints we have got a zebra crossing. Right, it's now safe to cross. We can cross over.
I would imagine in the mornings that road's even busier as well.
Yeah, you get lots of traffic coming along here in the morning, don't you? At least it's a nice day today though, because if I think back to my social media, this time last year we got snow.
Yes.
And you know, the thing about All Saints as well is that it stayed open in the snow. Everybody could get there because everybody walks there.
Very true.
Whereas actually I've heard that St Saviour's does struggle in snow because staff struggle to get there and the road becomes quite dangerous because it's on a hill and there's lots of water, surface water on the road already.
Yeah. I think it's quite icy up there, isn't it?
Well, this would be fun, walking along here with 6 kids.
I think my 3-year-old would be crying to get out of the buggy as well, because he wouldn't want to be in it. He'd want to be, like now, he walks them to school. And he can do that because of the fact that I haven't got to permanently be holding his hand or worrying that there's no pavement.
No.
I mean, that's narrow. In actual fact, my 1-year-old walks part of the way home. Now, where she'd have to be in the buggy all the way there and all the way back twice a day.
And then that's fine, but what happens when they hit 4?
Yep.
4 and 5?
Yep.
Or 3 and 4, and they both want to be out walking.
Yeah, I mean...
So it's good on bin day. I'm now having to go into the road to actually walk around the pavement. So you wouldn't have got your 2 plus the pushchair around that safely at all.
No.
In fact, I'm now having to walk in the road. So how would you do this with a pushchair and 2 small children?
Well, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't get Reese and Rosie either side of the buggy.
No.
While they're both in it, we wouldn't fit.
No.
So one of them I would have to trust would be able to walk. Both of them, because I mean I couldn't get around that bin.
No. And I'm still in the road, so I mean for me, I would be walking in the road and having my 2 on the pavement. You know what kids are like, you forever falling over the back of their feet and things. So, and you know, I mean for me, I always, whenever we're walking anywhere,
out where we've got to go. Actually, I just don't know how I do this bit.
This is really dangerous. Actually, you can't see what's coming around the bend, can you at all?
So we've got to get over this bit first and then off of the pavement. So you can see there's one coming.
But you still can't see what's coming on that bend there.
No, and I've got to have a child this side road first.
To hold on to the pushchair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether actually... Yeah.
And then as soon as you come onto this little bit, now you're blind as to what's happening on Court Road.
And I think there's no pavement here. I think we come off pavement now.
Right, okay. So that's that road.
So I've got to walk now, child either side and the buggy, and I've got a van coming towards me.
Okay, where does that path go?
That goes to the Broadway.
Right, okay.
You can't get up there with a
buggy.
buggy.
Actually, I was going to say, you can't get the buggy through there, can you?
No, so I can't do the footpath, so I've got to do the road.
And actually, at the moment, we all have, I mean, it takes me 10 minutes to walk to school with the girls. I was panicking then, I heard a car coming up, I thought one was coming up behind us. So now, I mean...
Well, I do 15 minutes, and that's 15 minutes from home to school, and that's with either backpack on with her in it, or single buggy, and Tommy walks it.
Yeah. Tommy's 3?
3, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so it takes me 10, but I'm slightly closer than you, and my 2 are obviously a little bit bigger and quicker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so lovely this morning. They were on their bike and scooter, and I just think, and I just think we do this. There's no way I could have them on their scooters or bikes.
No. No, recycled to school this morning because it's active week. So yeah, he rode his bike this morning.
And you know what? This is a really pleasant walk for this time of day.
Yep.
When there's not much traffic on the road.
Yep.
And the sun's shining and the weather's lovely.
Yep.
But as soon as you meet a car, you've got nowhere to go either side.
And you've got
It's
to
all
also remember
bushes.
that we've actually got an empty buggy with us.
And
so
it's empty, yeah.
we've also got haven't got the 4 walking
No,
children.
because
with
it's
us
not
as well.
safe to have the children walking along here.
And I'm quite lucky, I've got this buggy which isn't actually very wide. Lots of people have double buggies and they're actually double the width,
Yeah.
which they wouldn't be able to have because you wouldn't fit out on those pavements back there at all.
Right, so I have to come behind you now, single file. Oh, hang on. Oh no, we're still going. I was panicking then. Oh my goodness, look at the lorry.
Stand right in.
Whoa.
'Cause I wouldn't want
Imagine
that.
this was 6 children. And that's if it was just us 2 walking to school. Imagine if you've then added, you know, the other people that
Yep.
we walk with. It's crazy. You know, I just think this
And
morning.
also the other people that are going to be driving up there as well. So there's going
Yeah.
to be more cars on the road than there currently is.
Well, the fact is that this just, for me, I wouldn't walk my children to school along here. I
No.
don't think it's safe.
No,
It's too far for them. So by the time they get there, you know, we're a really active family. My girls both do a lot of walking up over Tennyson's Down. You know, we walk to Yarmouth and back.
Yep.
But we do that over the course of a day with a picnic, for pleasure. You know, my children don't mind walking. Obviously, we walk to school at the moment all the time. But this, I couldn't make them do this every morning.
No.
And actually, like, as a working, inverted commas, parent, because obviously I'm studying, like, for me, there isn't the amount of time that this would take me to walk them to school, then walk back, get, like, when I've already got really limited time, like when I'm not at uni,
Yep.
it's just crazy. When at the moment I can drop them and be home again in like 10-15 minutes.
I don't feel that I could actually do this walk at all. I didn't feel I could before this, but now doing it, like that bit with the lorry just then.
That was horrible.
I just think, you know, there's another car coming now. You're permanently, eyes are fixed up the road. And it's not for me about the distance, because I know everybody keeps saying
Oh, it's only
the
2
law
miles.
says you can
Yeah.
walk 2 miles. It's not about whether I'm walking 2 miles or not. It's about whether it's safe to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my option would have to be that I would have to drive, find somewhere to park,
Yep.
and walk from there.
Yeah, and
I'm
even
thinking-
walking from there then, there's no pavements on Summers
No.
Lane, and wherever you park would have to be probably Churchill to walk down,
And
or
there's
when we
no
get
one-
onto Summers Lane, be trying to park along there somewhere, which then makes it even more dangerous. I agree with you, I wouldn't walk this, I couldn't.
There's
I mean,
still
I
no
just
way-
think as well, I don't know what yours are like, but my 2, because they know the route to school and because it's safe, because they're on
skipping and
pavements that
scooting.
they're skipping, yeah,
Yep.
skipping ahead,
Yep.
they're on the scooters.
Yeah, they're not
They're-
walking holding my hand, which
No.
they would have to do on this.
Oh, we've got a bit of pavement now, look.
Oh, celebrate kids. You
Hallelujah.
can run for 30 seconds.
So this is just, it's taking so much away. So we would have to drive. And I imagine that every parent is going to feel the same as us.
Yep.
And again, beautiful day to be doing this. I'm quite glad actually, because, you know, I
Oh,
wouldn't
we
have...
wouldn't do it like that day we drove it.
I
was
know.
That was awful. Water running everywhere.
We'd be soaked.
We do just want to say as well that this isn't a reflection on what we think of the school, or we're not saying to the parents that go there anything bad about the school. We're saying from how we get to school now, this is not suitable
And
for families to be expected to walk it.
absolutely.
So our point is that more and more of us would be getting in a car. Those that can would, but there are plenty who don't have that option.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got little 2 and 3 year olds, to find a route to navigate,
Single file again.
it where there are more pavements, where you lengthen the journey, is all well and good, but there's still, there isn't a route that you can get from one door to another.
No.
Oh, sorry, completely on pavement, because there's no pavement up the top by
No.
the school.
No. And I think as well, going back to the St Saviour's parents, thing, and the fact that, you know, we really are keen for them to know that it's nothing against the school. We know that the school has got a good Ofsted. We know that the school does very good things for them educationally, but those parents have made the choice that that's the school that they want to. They're already happy that they put their car on the road and drive. Perhaps it suits them with their working life, or that's where they live, you know. But
some
for us,
work up there for the nursery and things, you know.
But for us, we've chosen All Saints because we want the walk to school. It's close to where we live. We enjoy that time with our children. You know, my two love being on their bikes and scooters, and you know, Autumn's only in reception.
Oh my god.
So right, okay, so now like a car could come round the bend and you can't. There you go. In fact, there you go, that's just proven that the car has just come round the bend. So imagine this with lots of small children
and school commuters.
Yeah, and you know, this on a winter's morning when it's dark in December, I mean, it's very pleasant today, absolutely. But so now we're coming on to Summers Lane, and again, this is the junction that we have to join.
It is beautiful.
And you know, on the plus side, healthy hill walking, so it's all good. But this is just, so now again, I'm walking next to you at the moment, but like, I mean, I just now knowing what
you're not very far off from the middle of the road.
No, I'm not actually.
No.
You're right. You could fit another adult next to me.
Side as well. You're supposed to walk into the cars.
We are,
yeah. We are, so that's good.
But now, I mean,
I hear something behind me.
I know. Like... And it's thinking ahead, like how quickly can you get them? So now we've got
something coming up,
and it's coming straight up. Actually,
there's a driveway, so we can stand on there a minute. You didn't want to wait a minute, did she?
She did put a hand up and say thank you because we moved in. Yes. Which is okay.
At least we can post a letter on the way to school.
That's true. That is true.
We don't have that currently.
But just so when we drove this, it was raining and it was pretty awful, and the amount of surface water that was running down this road.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it, actually. I don't normally come up this way. It's not a route I normally take, but even the news reporter driving us couldn't believe it.
And now, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen, because actually I'm going to feel a little bit freaked out. But imagine now if we were walking and we have a car come towards us and a car coming from behind us. Where do we go?
And the...
Oh, I'll come behind you again. So, and I mean, I would hope that drivers would slow down if they could see that there were children with us, but so far really the drivers that we've had haven't. And interestingly, this is a 20. He was definitely doing more than 20. Or is it only a 20? No, it's the whole road of 20.
It was 20 when we joined it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I was hoping to get around the bend and see the school.
No, not yet, a bit further to go yet.
No.
I was just thinking that actually, if we're doing this with the kids, mine are the same. We walk to Yarmouth, we walk up to the Needles, you know, they're fine. But like you say, that's a day with a picnic leisurely. By now, mine will be going.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Can I drink?
Can we stop, please?
Can we stop a minute? Or Rosie would be wanting to pick buttercups and...
Okay, so I'm guessing that footpath that we couldn't get the buggy up at the start, that's here, isn't it?
Yes.
So okay, that's cut out. But if we'd come out of that footpath, we would still be right on a bend, not being able to see what was coming.
Come on, I'll catch you later.
And then we're still on this bit of road. So again, still wouldn't be able to have bikes and scooters.
And when did we last have rain? Because it's soaking already.
Actually, when did we last have rain?
We haven't had rain all over the weekend.
No, we didn't, did we?
We haven't had rain for at least a week, I don't think I can recall. So,
whoa.
We've got one coming the other way. We've also got
not adhering to the 20 mile an hour speed limit, I hasten to add.
Nice bit of horse rural poo here as well, so there is no choice but to go through the water in the middle of the road.
God, honestly, the anxiety I'm feeling, the thought of doing this with small children.
It's very wet, isn't it?
And actually, like, going back to like the cost benefits of things, the fact is the more you start your car and drive it small journeys, the more it costs you in fuel.
Yep.
So we're already saying that we're going to have to drive to school. So the increase in fuel for us being sent to a school that we're not even choosing to go to,
No.
you know, and
for some families that will mean 2 cars.
yeah,
Because you'd have to have a car for the school run if you're, you know, like my husband works, so he isn't at home for the school run. Most of the time isn't at home for either school run. So he has to have his car and I have to have my car to get them
yeah.
to school.
And for me, I haven't got anybody else. I'm on my own with them.
Yeah.
I haven't. So
I mean,
like,
your mum's quite active now.
she is. My mum's very involved, but she doesn't drive
No.
because she never learned.
You know, I don't mean that rudely, but as you know, same as my mum. My mum's active now, but there are plenty of grandparents that are picking up their children
That are going to get older as well.
Couldn't physically do this walk.
No. Oh, so there's something coming behind. Oh, it's a nice big one this time.
Or just stop.
Yeah, I don't feel getting splashed with water as he goes past. Lovely. Although that can't be helped because of all the, I don't know whether you can make out, I think, actually on this video, the amount of surface water that's on the road now, and as you say, it's been dry for at least 5 days. And you know, like I said earlier when we started talking, like I just think back on my social media memories that it was snowing this time last year.
Yep.
Oh. So, like this in the snow.
4-year-olds having to do this, you know, on a daily basis. Some of those ones that have chosen to come to our school for reception this year, I know, their kids, you know, are a few months older than my son. I mean, they're not going to be able to do this every day and then do a day at school.
No.
I get the whole exercise is important for you, but a safe exercise that you're
Yeah.
not physically holding on to your
Yeah.
parent
And actually,
and being half sort of dragged up to school.
absolutely, and actually, as parents, we made the decision, like, to have our children out walking on weekends, so that already at the age they are, they're used to walking long distances.
Yep.
But as far as I know, generally the average recommendation is a mile per year that they have been alive.
it?
Yeah, I'm sure a
Yeah.
preschooler told me that. So actually, when Autumn is just 5, it's 5 miles, which again is absolutely fine for a nice pleasant walk. But you know, however 2 miles this is, they're okay because they're used to it.
Yep.
But other children who haven't got parents that are as active, maybe because they've got health needs,
Yep.
or because, you know, they prefer doing more home-based activities, like this would be a massive ask. So we're coming to the brow of the hill now. You can't see what's coming up the other side, so we are getting close to the...
Step in, it's a bit narrow, but you can't go that side because you wouldn't then be able to see to step
No.
out. So actually, if a car was coming, you would have no choice. The kids would have to go in here,
Yeah,
and we'd have to all stand in like that.
it's really, really narrow. Well, you can see the word slow isn't even across half the road.
That's 1 car width, isn't
Yeah. And also, I know that there have been issues with parents because there's no parking on the gravestones, which, you know, I don't want to do that. But, you know, like, and I'm sure these parents aren't doing it like intentionally, as in because they're being intentionally disrespectful. They're doing it because, oh my goodness, we've got 5 minutes to get the kids to school. We need to find somewhere to drop the car quick.
it? Yep.
And you know, imagine now on a morning, you've got all the cars along here,
Right,
all
and that
parked.
bit's a one-way bit down there, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So if you go down, then you then can't get a space. You've got to loop all the way back round again, which I should think would add a few extra cars.
Well, you just, as I say, in the morning, you've got all this side where I'm pointing now, will all have parked cars along it. So then you've then got all the parked cars along here, and then you'll have other cars coming from behind us and towards us.
Yep.
Now, okay, there's a 20-mile-an-hour restriction on the road, but I don't think we've seen a single car go past us yet that's been doing 20 miles an hour.
And again, there's no pavement right up to the school. There's no pavement.
No. And again, it's important to emphasise the fact that all of these bits along here would have cars parked along. That's interesting that there's a brand new pavement there now.
Hang on the corner there.
Yeah. Right, okay, so just over 20 minutes it's taken us, but that is not from home, so mine would have been another 5 minutes on top of that.
Mine would have been about another 10 on top of that, yeah.
And,
about 5 minutes.
you know, I think again, it's important to emphasise, I mean, perhaps what we could do now is we say we've got to school in 20 minutes from where we were, so I'm just wondering whether we should walk to the end of Summers Lane and then stop filming, just to sort of show that if anybody did come on public transport, or for any parents that had to park up onto Church Hill,
Yeah.
that actually...
Because I'm guessing this car park is mostly for staff. People can park in it for the school run, but not if the church is being used.
Yes.
I believe is what one of the mums said at the meeting, wasn't
Yes.
it?
So I mean, so we're parents that normally walk our children to school. We're now saying actually we're going to have to drive our children to school, because for many reasons, and whether people are listening to this and agree with them or not, you know, again, it's what we're saying works for us as families. We know our children. We're saying we couldn't walk to school. The church car park there is pretty much full. So yeah. So yeah, so now we're still.
There is a pavement this side if you park there, but you've still got to get them over this road and into the school.
You have.
grounds.
And you know, so what I suppose it's really hard to visualise, but actually what we're now doing is, even if you said that every single person in our school only has 2 children that attend the school, which obviously there isn't, there's parents that only have 1.
Yep.
So even if you said, right, that's another 40 cars on the road, where are another 40 cars? Because actually that probably does make sense, because there are families that don't have a car and don't have the choice. So
yeah, there's plenty. There's quite a few in Recent Roads' class that don't drive, and quite a few of them will have buggies. So public transport, you can't get more than 1 buggy on there. And I think it would be bad enough, you know, if I had to walk my 2 children up here, at least I've got 2 hands, 1 each side. I can keep them in, and I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel it was safe, but I would feel that I could hold on to them. You add a buggy into that mixed walk-in, you're reliant on them holding on to the buggy for the journey, and there's lots and lots with
I
smaller siblings.
didn't realise actually how far along Church Hill was from the school.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
when
quite...
you said we're walking up there, I thought, oh really?
Okay, yeah.
No, we can, but then you get up from the Broadway from here, so we could go down here to the Broadway to show that bit, couldn't we?
Yes.
I mean, that would be other places people will park up here where that tractor's coming down.
Oh, that's the tractor that's filling the whole entire road. Oh, this is fun.
On our rural roads.
Exactly, which is, you know, another reason why we like island life.
But that's right, let's stand.
So,
pavement. Oh no, not quite.
No pavement. So we can
stand on this.
We can stand here on the corner.
See where he's going.
Let the tractor go past. So, oh my goodness, right, where does this go?
So I think this is the one that comes down by the Broadway,
it is, yeah, but where's the pavement on here actually?
None. So even if we go the Broadway way, you've got no
Okay,
pavement.
so that's interesting, because that's what's been argued, hasn't it? Was that we could go along the Broadway, but there's a substantial amount of this route that doesn't have pavement now.
Right.
So now we have got some pavement going down. But we would still have to walk up to that junction with no pavement, and then walk from where we've just walked to the school. So that's still quite a substantial amount with no pavement, even if we went the Broadway way.
Yeah.
And actually, even if we go the Broadway way, the argument is that there is still no crossing on the avenue. No. So for all of us that live Edinburgh Road, or well, not even that, but even like Sunset Close, not Sunset Close, what I'm talking about? Solent Gardens. For the families that live on that estate round there, actually there isn't anywhere safe for them to cross across the road.
No.
Better get on the pavement. And again, I'm imagining that this in the morning must be fairly busy. And I'm guessing as well, in order to get a spot,
you've got to get up there early, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a sort of drop and go, or if it's like ours where they open the doors and people all go in at the same time either, because you've then got all the cars getting away. So
So,
Look, I'm not trying to sort of make it sound worse than it is, but for example, if I've parked in this space, yeah,
yeah,
and I've walked them up to the school and I've navigated the junction,
Yeah.
we then are all coming out to all get home or
Yeah.
back to work or wherever we're going, and I have to get a buggy because I couldn't let them walk up there into my boot of the car and 2 children into
Yeah.
the car while all the other parents are trying to leave this area,
yeah.
which again I don't feel is very safe. And if you bus, then this is the bit you could walk down to the bus stop, isn't it? So you
Yes,
navigate that corner
it is.
and then
But then, as everyone said, the buses don't actually coincide with school
No.
drop-off time. And, again, one buggy on the bus. And, you know, I mean, it's taken us 20 minutes from by the fire station
with no children,
with no children.
no stopping for drinks.
No,
and wheeze.
no, you've been relentless, Rach. You haven't let me breathe.
No children crying to get out the buggy.
No.
and wanting to walk.
Or complaining because their feet are wet, or they're tired,
Yep.
or they're achy, or, you know.
Or one of them's fallen over.
Well, that would be my 2. They like to do that. So, and actually, this pavement now, I've kind of had to kind of go a little bit slightly behind you.
Yep.
So again, somebody
get
with a
one
double
child.
buggy and a child, or like as in a 2-facing double buggy as opposed to a singular double buggy,
Yep.
you wouldn't be able to, if you hadn't got that, you wouldn't be able to have one child next to you. And actually now for you wouldn't be able to have your 2 children safely next to you on
No.
either side. Or, you know,
And Rosie's 5, right? So
although this road at the moment isn't very busy, but on school drop-off and school pick-up, of course it's busy because you've got lots of
Yeah.
parents that drive their children to school up here.
well, if you have our 40 cars, I mean, I can't remember what St Saviour's figures was, but even if you say 80 cars,
Well, there's 123 children at St Saviour's.
okay, so let's say even 100 cars, let's say 23 children are going to walk to.
It'd be interesting to get the figures actually. I wonder whether we could find out how many are like siblings and
Yep. how
for
many do
both
walk
for
to school?
both schools. But yeah, so thinking about at the moment, this seems like a relatively okay road. You know, there's a pavement, there's no cars really coming from either direction. So, okay, yeah, all right, this seems okay. But we're not doing this at school drop-off and pick-up time because obviously we can't because we're dropping our own children off and doing that walk there.
Also,
But
the government's initiative is to reduce the amount that people are using their cars.
yeah,
And that's sort of what we're supposed to be doing. And you know, my son's not going to
oh, pushchair crash.
let you through.
I told him he could walk and now he's screaming.
Oh, we get that all the time.
I said you can walk in a minute. You're faster than me.
Thank you.
It's the sun shining on us.
It is. But yeah, so I mean, for
Reece
us
is
at the
very
moment,
anxious. He, you know, we struggle to let Ben pick him up from school. He certainly isn't going to sort of car share and go off with other people. And I, you know, I think it's important to take your children to school if you can. If you're not working, and you know, we made a choice as a family that actually I wouldn't work until they were all of school age, so that we could do the
Yeah.
school runs and the things. And actually, I like taking my children to school. I don't really want to rely on somebody else. I mean, what if I think you're taking them, for example, and one of yours isn't very well? It's,
yeah,
you know,
it's
I
crazy.
don't want to be reliant on other people to get my children to school when I'm not currently.
No, no. And I think the other thing as well to point out is for me at the moment, when I'm, apart from one tiny bit, which is on Prince's Road, the rest of the route that I walk my girls to school is all quiet, residential. There isn't any like main thoroughfare of traffic, whereas everything that we've just done is all the main routes around Totland. So again, like I feel quite like comfortable that the girls are safe, that you know I can be talking to them and teaching them about road safety in a safe environment, because actually if we have a little bit of a mishap and they try and cross without looking, you know that you, whereas here, like, I mean, it's just